Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives. DOL. Spoilers recap for Tuesday, September 12, reveals that Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace, wondered if Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, was sure about shutting out the world and spending all this time in bed with her. Trip was more than sure since Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, said she'd called if there was an emergency, and since she hadn't called yet, Trip assumed everything was fine. However, Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gearing, eventually showed up at their hotel suite door, so Trip and Wendy were stunned to learn Ava Vitali, Tamara Braun, fired at someone in self-defense and escaped with Harris Michaels, Steve Burton. Wendy and Trip found out about the woman who posed as a nurse, so they reeled over the news that someone likely sent her to Bayview to take Ava out. Rafe insisted that if Harris and Ava got in touch, Trip should encourage them to turn themselves in. Since Ava and Trip were considered armed and dangerous, Rafe wanted Trip to be aware of what the cops might have to do. Once Trip was alone with Wendy, he admitted he had lingering concerns about Harris. Although he was brainwashed at the time, Harris tried to blow up Trip's whole family with a pizza box on DOL's Beyond Sound series. Next on Tuesday's Days episode, Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, snapped some pictures of Talia Hunter, a Ketra civilian, in her white lab coat now that she was officially a doctor again. Talia reflected on the second chances that people had been giving her, and the one that mattered most of all was Channel Dupree's, Raven Bowen's, forgiveness. Since Channel liked her back, Talia was quite content with how things were going in her love life. Jada was at the hospital to speak with the hit woman following her surgery, so Talia got a text about Joyce, Sarafina King, waking up and said Jada could question her once her doctor approved. Later, Jada introduced herself to Joyce, who admitted she was still pretty out of it following her surgery. However, Jada suggested she leave once Joyce answered the question of who hired her. At home, Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, got all dressed up for another date with Abe Carver, James Reynolds, and listened to Channel's story about Johnny professing his romantic feelings for her. Chanel was torn between Johnny and Talia, so Paulina insisted she'd support whatever decision her daughter made. That said, Paulina had always had a soft spot for Johnny and had been rooting for their reunion. At the Dimura mansion on Tuesday's Days episode, E.J. Dimura, Dan Feuereagle, ranted about how his hit woman was supposed to put Ava in the morgue. Johnny walked in and could tell that E.J. was fuming, so he wondered what had his father so upset. After E.J. gave Johnny updates on Ava's Bayview escape, he seemed irritated over Johnny having sympathy for her situation. Talk eventually turned to Johnny confessing his love for Channel and leaving her to make a decision. E.J. argued that Dimura should go after what they want and make their own luck. Although E.J. didn't think Johnny should wait around for Channel to decide, Johnny ultimately got a phone call from Channel asking him to come over. Later, E.J. received a phone call of his own from a hospital employee who was keeping an eye on things for him. That employee let E.J. know that Joyce was awake and getting questioned by the cops. In the town square on Tuesday's DOL show, Talia was holding a bouquet of flowers as she left Channel a voicemail and hinted about having something special for her. Meanwhile, Johnny showed up to see Channel right as Paulina was leaving for her date with Abe. After Johnny joked around with Paulina, she left so he could face Channel's decision. Channel admitted that before Johnny confessed his feelings, she was really excited about seeing where things might lead with Talia. Johnny assumed Channel wanted to give her romance with Talia a real chance and started to exit, but Channel grabbed his arm and pulled him back. Channel confessed that after Johnny told her how he felt, all the feelings she'd suppressed for him came up to the surface. Johnny realized Channel was saying she wanted to give their own relationship another try, so they shared a kiss as they got on the same page. In their motel room, Harris told Ava he needed to leave so he could grab them some food and supplies. While Harris was gone, Ava had another vision of Susan Banks, Stacey Haydock. During that vision, Ava confirmed that Susan wasn't really in the room, but she didn't seem so sure Susan was a hallucination either. When Alva wondered if Susan was using her psychic powers to communicate with her, Susan made a funny ghost noise.